and we are bringing you straight into this. And there has been, so we'll see whether this works, but if not, we'll have to. So, firstly, we can probably have a quick look at the UI. But you've got quick links to your company as they advertised in the original armory, effectively the inventory that we had in BF1, where you can go through and customize your weapons. Currently, nothing here. We'll get to that another time. And the assignment section, which whether this will give a bit better tracking to assignments that really we had in BF1. Let's chuck one on here just for fun to see if that actually works in the beta. Right, so enough of this. Let's go and try and find a match, and we'll go for some conquest. Let's try estimate of 2 minutes. Let's find a game. Okay. So a little bit of background to myself. I am Pure Elemental. I've been playing Battlefield games for quite a while now, and in honesty, I've kind of wanted to try some streaming and videos. We'll try. This is my first ever stream, but down the line we may do some more post-processed YouTube videos. But for the time being, we're just going to give this a go. Let's hope that there's actually some people in this server. Let's see if we can access our orders that are here and the special assignment that we've got tracking. I'd say I think one thing that Battlefield could definitely do a lot better is to put a little bit more into this screen here. I say you're pretty much sat here looking at some operations that you can't really interact with, the special assignments that we set before. But I mean, it wouldn't be too much, I don't think, to ask to add in like loadout customization at this stage, where you could be playing around with your kit, changing visualization, everything like that before you get to this part of the screen, where you want to just get into the game as fast as possible. Right, off we go. Let's go find out how this runs, and we're going to start it up with a bit of medic, and just see how this goes. Undoubtedly, this will go badly wrong. No, I apologise if people in. So my controls are slightly inverted here, so this is going to go very badly wrong. But okay, let's play around with this. Hopefully, it lets me change these. Control schemes. So, helpfully there is not a... Why is there never the veteran? Okay, well, we're going to play this with some alternate controls and see how it goes. We are going to be pushed. So in BFV we've got medic class, so we've got the our lovely. So as any other player, you spawn with one automatically. Oh god, that aim. There will be potato aim here. We're calling it now.
Be alert, we are losing objective Caesar.
Right, let's try and find out how this map even flows. Okay, yep, typical non going up those stairs. Hear footsteps. Might just take myself out of VoIP chat here so the squad is not being annoyed by me.
We have lost objective Caesar.
There we go. There we go, chat. There we go. Right. Now, let's find out how this works. So, interestingly, they decided to change it for the beta so that medics have the SMGs. So, my mind to this is whether we're thinking that we're going to go back to the days of essentially old BF4, as I think of it, where essentially the medic class has some of the best close quarter weapons as well as heals. So let me try the old medic. Apply the pouch. There we go, and then you see what comes up. So that's just holding down on
Very good. Objective Caesar is ours.
I'll apologise in advance if there's any. Oh, okay. So this is the new bleed out feature, and I'm burning to death, which is great. So I do quite like that you get the view of what your teammates are doing before you spawn.
We have taken objective
I mean, in BF4 you had like the little window of being able to view what your teammates were doing before you spawned. So one, this gives better information before you're going to spawn, which is always good. But I think the best thing from it is more you will just see some hilarious moments, some absolutely hilarious moments of your teammates probably cocking something up. So. I mean, most of you remember BF4 vids where you'll be watching a teammate squashed by a helicopter. It'll be pretty much all you ever want. And I need to remember that my controls are reversed. So we will definitely do another vid where I will actually have my controls set up as I was on. But for now, let's try to stop meleeing when we try to crouch. Here footsteps. Let's try and check. Oh, I'd love to do a squad revive on you. Okay, so square to revive on this. Fine. Up you get. Actually works. So there were a lot of bugs that we saw on that in the closed alphas, but that seemed to work pretty well. What happened to him? Can we common Rose say that we're... Oh, God, no, that's a grenade. Yep. So, I think one thing that I'm hoping for a lot more in right, yep, let's apply a heal. Yep. In BFV is not to have much in the way of gas grenades. So, I think it's safe to say that in Battlefield 1, there was a lot of spamming of gas grenades, and it was a very easy way to get quick initial damage. So, can I call out for help? So it does sort of highlight people close by to you, which is useful. There will be a lot of deaths. I said we called this now, but let's see who else we got. So we got good old BLK. Oh, that's a lot of guys over the left there. I probably shouldn't have spawned here, but never mind. Oh, the potato aim is real, and I can't crouch. Right, there's a guy. Let's try not to potato it. We're gonna pull it off somehow. So I think the fortification is quite an interesting feature. It's clearly the Battlefield's next attempt at trying to introduce something new. Levolution before fortification to the support class. But I mean, I'm a medic here, and I'm pretty sure I've got a hammer. I'm dead. Now I've been reading through some of the. Can you call out? Oh, he's dead. That's not going to go down well at all.
We have taken objective Caesar.
So in some of the notes that they released about what they were trying to achieve with the open beta and some of the changes that they've made. Oh, that must be a squad wipe. I think one of the things that they were trying to push forward was just to try and get a little bit more information about how the game's going to run. And I mean, I'm getting some slowdown, as you might see, but I mean, my internet isn't the best thing in the world. One day we'll get it upgraded. That sounded like a spot flare from BF1. and I'm trying to crouch again. So I think we'll just try and get a bit of a feel as to the flow of this map. There's a tank over there. That's a grenade. This is not going to plan. So I say, just sit back, enjoy. We'll try and get a bit of a feel for this map, get a feel for the controls, despite the fact that my controls are inverted from their norm. Let's see if we can do the sprint crouching, which I think will solve a lot of the problems where people have when they're trying to move. But yeah, I mean the connection is reasonably solid. It has to be said for an outfield of a game. Getting shot in the back. I saw you. I did. Yep. So my own personal comments would be, I think the when you gain a kill isn't exactly that clear. I mean, it comes up white with the hit damage. In the closed alpha, it was red, which I think is probably a better look. I'm definitely going to take damage here. Let's actually try and apply some heals. So, how do I even actually... Let's check out a path. Pretty sure there's a sniper down here. Let's try and push him. There we go. And there's the interact for the ammo. The attrition system in this, which is going to be... I think it's a good thing to introduce. I think it will encourage people to stop just getting stuck in chokes, which is quite easy in the previous Battlefield games. And I've always been a bit more of a run gunner kind of player for Battlefield. I'll just try and jump this. Maybe not. Heal up. Got some heals as well. There we go. So the map is pretty big.
Taken objective Dora.
Here, a friendly tank. Still trying to get my bearings. As every Battlefield player will know, one of the main things as to getting used to how to play the game is just getting used to the maps, getting used to which corridors you can take and how to best flank enemies.
Have lost objective Anton.
Pistol. So we've got attack order on C. We'll try and help our squad leader out. Oh god, the potato aim is there. Ah, yes. So my aim down sight sensitivity seems to be, well, I would say low. Let's try and bleed out, shall we? I do like that you just kind of look to the sky as you're bleeding out, as everyone would do when they're trying to kill themselves. Okay, we've got a squad here on point, which is good. Let's try and... Oh, he's being shot at. This guy's also being shot at, and is dead. Come on, Paul. We believe in you. Oh, and I was not really expecting to be able to spawn there. So I think this is something that's been a problem in a lot of the Battlefield games, is that you can just have those moments where you seem to be able to spawn when you probably shouldn't be. Oh, we got a car park. And sometimes it pulls off to your advantage, sometimes it doesn't. But what I liked about that scenario is that I could still see what was going on. To be fair, I probably shouldn't have spawned in hindsight. But I just kind of want to get into some gameplay here. There's some enemies running across this way. There's no spot system with me as a medic. What I do like about this, though, is there is no random bullet deviation in the gunplay for Battlefield 5. Now that means that even in... Interesting hit range going on here. But even in a scenario like that, I was confident that my bullets were going to hit the guy that was over there. I really wish I didn't have smokes right now. Let's try and do some customization here as well, see how the system works. I'm assuming my guys are going to die, so we will look gracefully into the sky. So jump back to deployer view. Let's play around with some customization. So, got my medic pouch. Smoke or incendiary grenades. Interesting that those are the options that you get. Appears there's not a standard grenade that you'd normally get with the with each class. I do have a rifle grenade, which I should probably make a little bit more use of. Right,
Well done. We have taken objective
keep this flow. It looks like our team is losing quite badly, and I'll take the blame for this. So there is one of the supply crates, so you can get some more ammo. It's always useful when you first spawn in. Allows you to play if you want to keep in a similar sort of style as the old Battlefield games, it seems. But I think this will increase the value of medics and support players. But I mean, medic players don't really need much of a boost in value, as it already stood in the Battlefield franchise. I say one of the things that the guys had posted from the DICE team in terms of one of the updates they've made between the alphas and beta, which I'm very interested to see, is in terms of visibility of players. I say it's something that I found with the original, with the Battlefield 1 game, is that I say a lot of the players, if you look at them, look the same. I was not paying attention. Look the same colour as the surroundings. So, I mean, look at these guys here. They are very similar in colour to the surroundings. But, I mean, I can see them all right. In BF1, it was very much like everyone was the colour of dirt. And the only way of knowing that someone was there was really if they were spotted. Seeing as they've taken away the spotting functionality, well, apart from the scout class in this game, it'd be interesting to see whether players will be easier to see. One of the things they said they'd changed was a rim lighting effect on players. You can see there's a guy there. So in the beta, how many floors are there here? Oh dear, the potato is alive. So in the updates they had... Oh, okay. Someone tried to squat revive me, which was bold, I would say. Yeah, so one of the updates they'd said in the notes in terms of one of the changes between the alphas is they've increased a rim lighting effect on the player models. Maybe it'll just mean that you don't quite have as much you'll be able to hide in shadows. But I think this will be a good change. We'll have to see whether you can actually see people, though. Okay, you got him.
Good work. Objective Emil is now ours.
Okay. Wow, I die fast. I'm gonna have problems, but again, it might be my connection after the revive. But that was relatively quick. This guy is pretty much downing most of our team by just holding some stairs. Seems he's gone. Right, let's try and actually investigate what. Okay, someone's building some fortifications. And I've shot the back. Nothing can be done about that.
We are losing objective Caesar.
Bar me potentially paying more attention. So interesting, overlooking that point with a. That's some interesting swimming. Let's do some interesting swimming as well.
Soldiers, we have taken objective Anton.
So you'll notice that there are no apples and there's no apples and Charlies and ducks in this game. We are using the next level of phonetic alphabets. I need someone that got out of this. There he is, and he's making his sweet getaway. And we've lost. Probably should have paid attention to all the other people. Interesting, you can actually hear your player cry out in German. Won't translate what he was saying for the kids. Oh, he's gonna go down. That's a good little position you got there, man. Right, it's definitely a bit of a front here. Let's see if we can get our flank on. Holding that. That's a bad problem. They appear to have built that wall. Yes. So it's interesting that you can like completely close off ways of getting into points like that. You're taking damage again. Useful thing about the medic class is you can just constantly heal yourself. Okay, I'm guessing that's another fortification because this makes it very difficult to attack some points. Well, whoever's been doing this has done a bang-up job.
Erste Hilfe, Soldat!
Why did it say throw ammo pouch when I have a healer? That must be a bug. We'll report that back to them.
Objective Anton is lost.
Right. Using objective A. D is distinctly grey. Oh, there's a lot of people around that corner. Okay, I'm just gonna hang back. You guys can take the front of this. Let's use our smoke grenade to great effect. Okay. I really need to get used to these different controls. That's a natural grenade. Oh, he threw it back. So another feature there. You can actually throw back grenades to let enemies throw out. Glad no one did that to my tactical gas. Good old spoke. Not gas. Normal. Well, I'm thinking we'd just go for the we were just going to go for the bold run through, but I believe in you, teammates. I believe in you. I'm perfectly fine. There's no explosions. Ignore all of that. You're good. You're good. Don't worry. Maybe I'm not. Let's see about
Objective
what things we can
Emil is now
customize actually
ours.
here. So we got the Sten. That's our base. Let's try out this EMP.
Objective Bertha has been lost.
We can't get that. I'm not entirely sure how these unlock. Therefore, I thought they were all supposed to be unlocked on as a base. You see here about all of the different ways that you can customize, which I think is quite a good thing to put in. It's kind of reminiscent to me of the Battlefield 4 mechanics in terms of changing. I mean, in Battlefield 5 there are only visual impacts. There's the specialization system, which is how you essentially improve your weaponry or at least change your weaponry. That is a lot of lag.
Soldiers.
They're going to be coming from B direction. Question is, can I get through this way? It does feel a little bit more intuitive than Battlefield 1. Some corner will undoubtedly be a corner of death again. I say, feel free to just sit back and enjoy. We're going to try and have a bit of a look around. So drop me some comments. I'll have a look through them afterwards, and we can see what you guys like to see. If you just want to see a bit more gameplay, bring a bit more of my commentary to
We have lost objective Anton.
some non-live, non-live commentary. I think the registration is a little bit slowed on this, but again, this might be just because I'm using up all of my internet bandwidth. As evidenced slightly there, but yeah. So maybe we'll do some post-processing to allow the internet to actually do its job. Ooh, that was someone tried to snipe me.
Step up, we are losing objective Dora.
I do like that. So probably know that they've taken away the sweet spot mechanic. Shooting them over there for snipers. Let's try some long. Well, we were going to try some long range. Oh, it was actually him that killed me. I thought it was the bullet that I took from the right hand side. that's always one thing that I think is a part of Battlefield that I think is underrated, but needs to be constantly looked at. Is the hit registration in terms of actually being able to tell a player from what direction they got hit and it be reliable. Ooh, there's a guy up there. Yep, that's going to be a problem. And I can't go for him because of... Go on, push me. I dare you. That sounds like a bomber. So, if you were a squad leader in this, you can call in... That would be indeed the bomb. I'll equate that to a J-down. Superpowered J-down. Developers learned well from Metro.
We are losing objective Caesar, soldiers.
Let's see if there's any kind of... There is a lot of people on here. Let's see if we can find them. If I can get the drop on anyone here, that'd be useful. Feels like I am going to be found. So another thing to note is Conquest has changed back to the old BF4 system in terms of tickets. In that you'll see the bleed from the flags in the top of the screen. So you see up there, because we've got max bleed at the moment, pretty much. Well, hopefully if we take this, we'll get max bleed. You'll see that there, the little flag appears on the red enemy teams. Oh. Now there's definitely people on this flag. I'm guessing they are underneath. Am I bold enough? Am I bold enough to try and take the shot? Appears not. So there's still spread in the game, so you'll still have spread on weapons, but you should still be shooting where your crosshairs are. So it's pretty much your spread will equal the recoil you're doing. Which I am very happy for. There was so many times in Battlefield 1 where you just find... He was behind me, yes. You just find that you feel you were shooting at someone, but the bullets were just going nowhere near. And if you guys in chat can still hear me, I'm very sorry. But I've definitely turned my VoIP down. I'm sure we can turn this around. So like I said, they changed the way that the bleed works. So the tickets now count down as it used to in Battlefield 4. Now I think I personally prefer this because in Battlefield 1 it was just impossible to mount any form of comeback. My aim is so bad. Yeah, Battlefield 1 there was like very minimal chance of you ever managing to get a comeback. I should probably pay more attention to the guys than talking to it. And the reason for this was because it counted up. So if it got to a certain point, there was no way that you could get the count to work in your favour. But if you get the bleed right in this, it is possible to make a comeback. I always find the countdown a little bit more intuitive, if I'm honest. Tickets represent number of spawns, so if you use a spawn, it counts down. And I am having...
We now have objective
We have found the grenade launcher. Things are about to happen. Let's test
we
out.
have lost objective Dora.
So, from what I understand from the notes from the closed alpha, was the grenade launcher was pretty much useless. And I quite like the grenade launchers in most Battlefield games, so I really would hope for it not to be useless. In Battlefield 1, the rifle grenades weren't that great. You sometimes get cheeky kills, but that I'm going to mark that as dangerous. No spot system. He just get shot at here. I get the feeling. Yep. Key feature of that I always tend to find. I wish you could sort of spot whilst you were down to say, look over there, that's the guy that just shot me.
We must fight harder. We are losing this.
Paul he's doing work, this guy. I believe in Paul.
Erste Hilfe! Für dich!
We've taken objective Caesar, soldiers.
So, another interesting feature of Battlefield 1 is that I think they've changed the fire propagation on soldiers. So, one thing they've said that if you walk over a fire now, and you stay stood, and it's just a smouldering fire on the ground, you won't catch fire. So effectively, the game knows that you're wearing boots, like it probably should have done in previous games, and you won't spontaneously combust. So, Battlefield 1, it always felt like you were made of polystyrene. You touched fire, you burst into flames. So I think this is a good change. They've also made it so that it should be if you're sprinting and you run through fire, you're less likely to catch fire. So it seems like they've built in like a sort of a threshold, as it were, for whether you start to catch fire or not.
The enemy is taking objective Anton.
I really wish I had a grenade that wasn't smoking about now. But... I see you. Ah, there's another one. Yeah. So after this, I will do a lot of playing around with settings. I say Battlefield 1, you could, for the first time, so I'm playing this on PS4, as you might guess by the juttery turning. One thing that... Can I vault that? No. But he tried. He put his hand out and tried. In Battlefield 1, I've lost my train of thought. Too busy trying to find a way to get into sea. Oh, he just died very badly. It's okay, I've got you.
Ich bin bei dir, Soldat.
We're gonna do it. Bold revive. It's not what I would recommend for most medics. The proper medic will clear out enemies. Whoa! Before Oh god. Yep. Pro tip: don't go prone when people are shooting at you. Heal up. Look at me. Yeah, so like I say, I got my train of thought back now that I'm dead and bleeding out on the floor. Battlefield 1, you could change a lot of the settings in PS4 for the first time. One of them being field of view, which is interesting when you're essentially all operating on a sort of standard platform, as opposed to in PC terms. So I'm someone who likes both PS4 and PC. I mean, I started out playing Battlefield on PC. Good old days of Battlefield 2. Whoa! I have no idea what was causing those explosions. Is there anyone around? There's a misty ghost of a teammate over there. Did you just run past me? So yeah, I'm hoping Battlefield 5 gives the same sort of level of customization in terms of just settings for what you can do with the gameplay, changing colours, allowing you to change reticules and stuff. Okay, apparently my squad is just really good, and I'm letting the team down. In future, we'll try and get some actual footage where I'm not getting constantly wrecked. Let's see if we can get our lead on. Can't see a thing. Appears they have effective smoke as well. One. Anyone else? So I'm glad to see. This is one thing I was worried about. When you down an enemy, you can't see them moving and looking to call out for help. It was one thing I was worried about, in that it would mean that a lot of players will be looking out for visibility in terms of what they aim at. In terms of they'll be looking for movement in terms of in their vision for what they aim at. If you see a guy rolling around on the floor, you're going to think he's alive. Just prone. So that's quite handy. Let's get in before we face this. Doesn't look like we've managed to get the bleed entirely in our favour, but hopefully we can. Maybe if we try and get out till we... I'd like to work with my squad, but we're loaning it here. We're going in. Ah, that was interesting. So there's bound to be glitches. This is a beta build, after all. Yeah, you got it. Good job. There's definitely going to be glitches. I didn't even know there was a glitch. Come on, there's Cappy. You knew this. And, oh, my team has Cappy.
Good job, we've taken objective.
For once in my life, I've actually moved with the direction my team is moving. That's a friendly tank, at least. D is held, so it looks like we've got a chalet. So it looks like it's a relatively sort of square-based map. It looks like D and B are quite close flags to hold together. But C is that heavily fortified. If you build fortifications there, that's going to be a difficult one to take. And A is our dual layered above and below. This is a little bit open. A little bit too open for my liking. At least there are little flankers. It's the thing that I always found with Battlefield 1. Use our support. Did I not see you? One thing infantry always need to try and do is support their tanks, and he may have just blown up in a horrible hellstorm of death. Interestingly, you have 2 deploy points as well. Just noticed that. I'm not entirely sure if that's necessary, but maybe they'll put vehicles on one and only infantry on the other, so you've got a closer infantry spawn. I think that's quite a good idea. Help defend this. Potentially we could turn this around if we try and die and come back for an awesome turnaround. At least that will evidence my point that it is possible. Where did that guy just go? Let's try and use this. Just know I'm going to get rushed here. Or I will... Yep, that's a tank, guys. Let's just bleed out. We're getting the bleed on the flags. You see, if we can hold D, I'm going to spawn at D. Deploy overview. If we can hold D, I did spawn at C, which was I mean C.
Attention, objective Taser has been lost.
Come on, we can't lose C. This is what's giving us the burn. Come on, where are the enemies? Oh, behind! We went quiet there. We were focusing, but it wasn't enough. I think the map is really quite beautiful. I mean, they've clearly used a lot of assets from BF1 again, but it looks a lot brighter to me, and that's what I like. Visibility is king in Battlefield games. This guy is in a bit of spot of bother. Looks like everyone is in a spot of bother. But I mean, look at this. You can actually see inside everywhere. There's no real deep darks, despite the fact this guy is quite clearly camping in that corner. Like a little bro.
No, we have lost objective Emirs.
Definitely someone outside. Oh, I just took damage from the stairs as well. And now who's camping in a corner, eh? Not this guy. Right. Ah, we've got our Sten to level 2. Come on. Ah, we're not going to get the bleed. Lost it. It was a good attempt. Good job, team. Good job, team. I mean, just evidenced by that. The map is bright and clear, and I think that's the main thing that we can be happy for. Lovely little walk-in of their squad now. Just so you can feel like a real badass. But anyway, thanks for that, guys. That's been a live stream of first ever round that we've done here, and I'm hoping to do a few more live streams. I'm hoping to get a few more vids up and hopefully do some uploads and post-process some YouTube videos as well. So that'll be me signing off for now, but I'll be sure to bring you some more videos in the future.